All right, everybody. It's about 6:15 p.m. West Coast time on Friday, July 18th. A very short time ago, it was announced that uh, there was kind of a prisoner swap between the United States, Venezuela, and El Salvador. And the long and the short of it is that 10 U.S. citizens who were being held in Venezuela have been released in exchange for the return of more than 250 Venezuelan young men who had been sent to SECOT prison in El Salvador by the Trump administration, including, hang on one second here, including the young man Andre Jose Hernandez Romero, a gay makeup artist from Venezuela who had an asylum claim pending, who had tattoos on his forearms, one for his mom, one for his dad, that included crowns. And so the inbred, mouth breathing, fart huffing dipshits that comprise our current roundup of ICE agents determined that those tattoos that said mom and dad, that meant that Andre Jose Hernandez Romero, even though he was a gay makeup artist and hairdresser, those tattoos meant that he was a member of the violent Venezuelan street gang Tren de Aragua. And so for the last 14 months, Andre Hernandez Romero and 250 other young Venezuelan men, something like 85% of whom have no criminal record anywhere, have been rotting in SECOT prison in El Salvador. Those 250 young men have been released from SECOT prison in El Salvador and have been returned to Venezuela. That's a great step because they're out of this torture gulag that they were in. Run by President Bukele of El Salvador. And it's like the El Salvadoran government has bragged repeatedly that no one has ever gotten out of SECOT prison alive. And I've done prior videos. I did an entire podcast on this prison a couple of months ago. They're not exactly big on due process in El Salvador when it comes to people who get sent to this prison. But Andre has been released tonight, and he is in Venezuela. I believe he is with family. I'm not entirely sure on that. I just got done maybe 5 minutes ago watching an emergency live stream that the folks at the Bulwark did. It was Tim Miller, Sam Stein, another guy named Todd, and a woman named Lindsay, who works for an organization at immdef.org, immigrantdefense.org. Excuse me, they have been representing Andre and several other of these young Venezuelan men who the Trump administration sent to SECOT prison to rot in a torture hellhole for the rest of their lives, despite never being convicted of a crime either in the United States or El Salvador or Venezuela. I've been following Andre's case through the folks at the Bulwark, including Tim and Sam Stein, for the last 4 months. That's how long he's been in SECOT. And he is not in SECOT anymore tonight. He is home in Venezuela, a country that he fled because he was being persecuted and threatened, but at least he's not in SECOT. So I hope this is a positive step for him. But if you can donate to Immigrant Defense at immdef.org, I have been donating to them throughout this whole process. And I wish more than anything that Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem and Tom Homan and Marco Rubio and so many other members of the Trump administration would take the place of these 250 young men in SECOT prison. And I wish that Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem and Marco Rubio and Tom Homan and so many other members of the Trump administration would have to experience for the rest of their lives in SECOT prison what they sent these innocent men to SECOT prison to experience. I wish that for Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, Marco Rubio, Tom Homan, and so many other members of the Trump administration, and so many other Republican members of the House and the Senate, these racist, bigoted, hateful fucks who claim to be Christians, while wishing the absolute worst fucking torture on other human beings that you can possibly imagine, because they should have come here legally, Martha. They didn't come here legally. They should have come in legally. Fuck you people, man. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Stephen Miller. Fuck Kristi Noem. Fuck Tom Homan. Fuck Marco Rubio. And fuck every single person in the United States who still supports Donald Trump, the best friend of Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years, who sent him a dirty birthday card. You still support Donald Trump at 6:23 p.m. West Coast time on Friday, July 18th, 2025. I wish that the fleas of 1,000 camels would infest your nether regions and remain there for the rest of your miserable fucking lives. You have no redeeming qualities left. You have nothing left to offer American society or culture. The only thing that you have left to offer us is the entertainment value that the rest of us would derive from watching your demise. That's it. That's the only thing that you inbred, fart-huffing, mouth-breathing MAGA chuds have left of any value for the rest of us. The only thing of value that you have left to offer those of us who chew our food with our mouths closed and who have never finger blasted a cousin is the joy that we would experience from watching your naked, honey-covered body be slowly yet somehow simultaneously, rapidly consumed by fire ants in the desert, or getting to watch what happens if you were to accidentally fall overboard from a small fishing boat into the Amazon in an area that was particularly infested with piranha. Or anacondas, for that matter. Although they don't really eat adults. They tend to just go for toddlers. Like Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Fuck you guys. Fuck Donald Trump and fuck everybody who still supports him. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. Andry is out of SECOT. I don't know what happens for him from here, but at least he's out of there. Have a good weekend. Be safe.